Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 31st. Happy Halloween, everyone. It is 6:22 right now. Market's gonna open in about 8 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. Just got a couple of things here to update and we should be good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. So I got a few moments for people to make their way in, and then we'll get started shortly. All right, as people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start marking up liquidity over here on the liquidity chart. So I'll start over here on the daily. Zoom out real quick. Start my levels right here. Going down to the 8-hour. Going down to the 4-hour. Going down to the 2-hour. Going down to the 1-hour. Now we're down to the 30-minute. $15. To the 10. And it looks like we are good to go. All right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, October 31st. Happy Halloween, everyone. It is 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. I marked up liquidity over here. Closest level of liquidity from where price is currently at is going to be above over here at 33,164. It's kind of a distance up there, but that's going to be the closest level of liquidity above. And then we have liquidity down below over here at 32,935. So this is going to be a better liquidity to be using if and when price comes down here. This is a blue level, so it's one of the regular levels, not the lower level. All right, other than that, hey David. Yeah, sure. So let me saw your message. I'll do that right now, actually, before we get onto this live. So let me see if I can just start this over. So let's got a few more things here to update. That's good. All right, David, looks good. You should be good to go. Looks like we are ready. Sorry, so, all right, let's see who's here so far. Morning, Maria. Morning, William. Morning, Nikki. Morning, everybody. All right, guys, it looks like everybody's pretty much here. Again, guys, here is liquidity. Closest level above is 33,164. Closest level below is going to be 32,935. I'm going to mark this up over here as opening price. 8 o'clock. I was watching this over here, but it didn't come back up. Here is our clean chart. Let me check the news real quick. We had news over here at 5:30. So we had news at 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:45, 7, 7:30. We had a lot of news today. So 5:30, 6 o'clock, I'm going to mark that up first. And news over here at 5:30, this big candle. We got news at 6 o'clock. It's a little candle. So 5:30, 6 o'clock, 6:45, 7, and 7:30. So 6:45, 7, and 7:30. Yeah, we got a lot of news today. All right, well, we'll see what happens. Guys, market is now open. Here's the opening candle. We currently have a sell signal. So if we get 2 red candles, including this current candle right here, that is going to be the breakout V2 if you guys are looking to take that specific entry. Other than that, we'll play by ear and see where this ends up going. So I think price will probably be dropping a little bit further from where it's currently at. I mean, we'll see. See where this goes as price continues to obviously dump lower. So I have this chart marked up from yesterday, guys. Target price point for today is probably going to be this, the opening price from yesterday, which is down here. And we'll see as this continues to drop lower. So I think that's going to be target price point if price does continue to drop. Looks like liquidity over here just got hit. So if you guys took that, nice work. So there goes the first level of liquidity right there, guys. If you guys decided to take that there earlier, we'll see where price ends up continuing to go. So if this candle here closes red, guys, this is technically going to be the breakout V2 if you guys are looking to take it, of course. So I think price is a little overextended, so I don't know if that's something I'd recommend taking, but we are still going to be documenting this trade for our spreadsheet. So there goes a breakout V2 right there. Not one that I would take myself. Obviously, I'm not taking that trade. The only two strategies I'm applying is I'm only applying the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. So this is only for documentation purposes, guys. I'm not taking this trade. If you guys want to take it, it's up to you. But it's one of the strategies that we're just testing. Also, because of the crazy movement right here, I wouldn't have taken it. That's one of the red flags that we typically avoid. So I'm just going to go and take a screenshot of this. And there's a lot of news this morning too. So when there's a lot of news this morning in the morning, we typically, well, if you've been following the strategy, we've been taking notes on it. You know, basically when there's heavy news pre-market, we typically avoid, like for example, here on August 24th, that's when you'd avoid it. When Fed's speaking, when CPI is going off, when FOMC is going on, stuff like that. So yeah, definitely gonna take the trade there, but I'm gonna be putting it over here on the spreadsheet for the entry. So non-official entry, but one of the strategies that we're still testing so that we can understand when to take it and when not to take it. So entry came up at 633. It was for sell. It was a loss, negative 250. A lot of news pre-market. Price jump. Open. Predictable. I'll put it. It's pretty overextended. Yeah, because price was way overextended at that point. Let's go and measure it real quick. I mean, not to say that price is going to come down further, but it was obviously, you know, very overextended from where it was currently at. So looking at this right here, let me just measure real quick. I don't even have my indicator on, turn on the high low. Sessions. Yeah, so measuring it from this point to here, it was obviously overextended. It was like 1,000 pips down. So not exactly the, you know, obviously not exactly the area that you want to trade. Also, it was at the sessions down here. So another area to avoid due to possible manipulation. So that's pretty much it. That was the breakout V2. If we get a buy signal here and two red candles, that's going to be the momentum counter scalp entry. Otherwise, we can start looking for some momentum pullback scalps once the market starts to stabilize here a bit. It's not stabilized yet, but once it does stabilize a bit, we can start looking for possible opportunities for entry. But yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. Let's take a look at the overall bias. So looking over here at retail sentiment is currently 58% long. This indicates that 58% of retail traders are currently buying right now. So you typically want to do the opposite and sell. So right now it's currently 58% long. It's not very bullish, but it's still bullish right now. So we're going to put that over here for today's overall bias. Retail sentiment is currently, we'll put bearish neutral. It's at 58% long. Fundamental bias is currently, I'm pretty sure it's bearish. It should be. It is currently bearish right now. It's down 100 points. I'm pretty sure short-term and long-term technicals are also bearish right now as well. So looking over here on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 10 minute, you can see price is bearish. It's below the pivots. Trend meter is red. Pivots are angling down. On the long-term timeframes here, it's neutral. So bearish and neutral. So we have a bit of a bearish bias for today for the most part. It's kind of on the bearish neutral side, but it's more so on the bearish side. So we're going to say we're leaning towards bearish, but it's not completely bearish right now. So as you guys can see over here, this is what today's overall bias is looking like. This is weird. I need to read. So I was kind of showing you guys some stuff yesterday. So you guys can see over here, if you guys went on the mentoring session, we kind of covered the momentum pullback scalp indicator. Let me just reapply it. It shows like so many lines here. It's only supposed to show a couple, but it's showing a whole bunch. Let me just reapply it. And let me refresh the chart. I think the chart's just corrupted. All right, let's refresh the chart real quick. Turn on MPS levels indicator. All right, so now the lines are dotted. I don't know what happened earlier. It looked like it wasn't dotted. It was actually solid. I think I got to work on the indicator, guys. There's some issues with it. But I'll try to get that fixed soon. So let me see if there was any entries here that came up. Actually, it looks like this momentum signal was already used, so we can't use this for a momentum pullback scalp. We got to wait for the next one to come up. So we'll come back and take a look once we get a new momentum signal. Right now, we don't have one, so we can't use it. We had a sell signal right here, but I'm pretty sure it was used somewhere around this area. So price kind of came down, retraced right here. The whole number for here would be at the 3,000 mark, and then when it came back down. So this momentum signal has already been used. Now we have to wait for the next one to come up before we can start looking for another momentum pullback scalp. For the high-low scalp V2 over here, we may have opportunity at this low. If price does come back down, we need to have this low established, though it's not established yet. So once it is established, we can start looking for possible entry here for high-low scalp V2. I'm gonna change this to quarters right here so we can have lines marked out each quarter. That's something that Maddie likes to apply. We discussed this as well. Whole numbers are good areas to enter and exit a trade for specific assets like US30 YM, which typically respects those levels. So we have no entry here yet. If we get a buy signal that comes up here in 2 red candles, that's going to be the momentum counter scalp entry. That's not an official entry. It's the second entry that we are testing. And then from there, we're going to be looking for our official entries once we get a sell signal back to the downside. All right. So I go and just wait from this here. See if there's anything else here that I need to confirm. I mean, looks like we're good to go, guys. We're pretty much just waiting for the setup here to come up. So we're looking for a buy signal to come up. Once we have that buy signal, we're going to look for 2 red candles. Once those 2 red candles come up, that's going to be the momentum counter scalp entry. And other than that, we're just going to wait for the sell signal to come up so that we can look for another momentum pullback scalp. So put this right here. I'll put the criteria for the momentum pullback scalp up here. And now we just wait. So let's see what happens here. One thing that I just noticed right now too is that the high-low scalp V2 pattern, it works with the sessions too. So I don't know if you guys noticed right here. So price kind of came down right here, broke below, came back up for the fake out right here. And then it came back down for entry. It's kind of interesting. That pattern works very well with a lot of strategies, actually. Yeah, Maddie said it works with liquidity too sometimes. Yeah, it's the same thing with liquidity. For liquidity, it's just a double touch. So if it comes down for a second touch, it's the same thing. But yeah, if you look for if you wait for the close, yeah, like it worked right here too for liquidity, like Maddie mentioned. So we had liquidity waiting down here. You can see how price broke below, faked out, came back below. And if you waited for the second retest of it, it basically would have blasted right through your TP. So that's good to know. And that's another reason why I like this specific strategy, because it works so well. with different levels. Kind of works with whole numbers too, Maddie. If you notice over here, price came down off this 25, faked out, came back down, and then it goes down to the next level right here. So if you guys didn't attend the mentoring session yesterday, I do recommend you guys go and review it. I covered this new indicator in detail, and we also we just reviewed all of our official strategies. So the momentum pullback scalp, the high-low scalp V2, and then Maria had a couple of questions regarding like the triple confluence. It was a good review, and we covered a lot of the new stuff. So if you guys haven't viewed the mentoring session from yesterday, I do recommend you guys view it. You just need to go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/Kodi Kai trades. Scroll down to mentoring sessions right here. And you'll see the one from yesterday here on the 30th. Also, you can find it on the Zoom, on the Discord. Just go down to live mentoring sessions right here, and you'll see the link right here, and it'll tell you which topics were covered. There were a couple more topics that were covered, but they just weren't listed on here. But these were the main topics that were covered: momentum pullback scalp strategy, momentum pullback scalp indicator, and the high-low scalp V2. All right, guys, we got news coming up right here at 6:45. Gonna hold off on, sorry guys, 1 second. Man, these allergies are killing me. All right, guys, we have news coming up right here in about a minute. Let's see what happens here. I'm gonna see if there's any zones here on our clean chart just yet. That zone right there. Zone right there. I'll come back and review this later, but we'll see if price ends up staying in our range right here. I'll just mark this up for now. I'll make some adjustments if necessary. But you can see that price is again in a range like it was yesterday. Not a good area to trade in right here, guys. So just be smart about your moves and sit tight. We got news coming up right here. Here's the momentum counter scalp, guys. If you guys are looking to take it, I mean, I wouldn't take it because it's right next to news, but this is the momentum counter scalp right there currently running. There's also a V1 variation right here that Maddie just identified as well. Happened right at the session, so it's a bit of a riskier entry to be, taking, of course. Let's see if there's, so I'm gonna mark up the news candle right here. I'm not in this entry right here, guys. I'm just marking it up because this is the momentum counter scalp. I wouldn't recommend taking it because it's right at news. This is the actual news candle. So I would probably be careful about taking any entries right here specifically. Typically want to wait about 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after news to confirm, what movement happens based off the news. It was medium impact news too. Chicago PMI, negative news. Last month it was 44.1. Their consensus was going to be higher. It's actually lower. So it didn't do as good as it was expected to do. We have consumer confidence, CB consumer confidence at 7 o'clock. It's basically some more inflation news. It's just a lot of inflation news going on today, of course, in both directions. So we'll see. This is all it's building up for NFP this week. So we have some inflation news. This is basically the first news events that happened this week, which are going to basically provide a guideline for what else is going to be released this week. So we have more news tomorrow, a lot of inflation news tomorrow over here with ISM manufacturing, prices, new orders, etc., new job openings, etc. Tomorrow's a big news day. Today's just, it's basically an ease into the news for tomorrow. So here goes the momentum counter scalp, guys. If you guys took it full TP right there, I'm going to go in and take a screenshot of this real quick. Entry came up at 6:45 full TP. So the momentum counter scalp's it's been hitting pretty decent lately. Today's the 31st. Came up at 645. It was for a sell. It was a win for 100 pips. So if you guys took the momentum counter scalp right there, I gave you guys a heads up. We are looking for a green signal. Once we get that green signal, we're looking for 2 red candles, which happened after it. So green momentum signal right here, 2 red candles, momentum counter scalp entry right there, full TP. So if you guys took that, the breakout V2 didn't hit today. The momentum counter scalp did hit. And now we're going to be looking for our official entries, which are the momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. So we've pretty much covered all of the testing strategies already so far. What we need here is we need a sell signal. Once we get a sell signal here, we can start looking for a momentum pullback scalp entry. And then also over here, we're going to look for price to come back down and break structure. The only problem here that you guys want to be careful for is that price, again, is in a range like yesterday. This is not a good area to trade in. This is very unusual that price is in a range. It seems like a lot of people are just kind of worried about NFP. So like, it seems like nobody's really trading right now, right? There's not a lot of volatility. I mean, there's volatility, but there's no direction. So if you look at volatility here, the ATR is currently at 20. So it is moving. It's not moving a lot, but it is moving. So yeah, like what Maria said, again, price is in range. So just be careful with your entries, guys. I mean, you guys are welcome to take whatever entries you guys want to, but I'll continue to monitor the chart, and I'm probably not going to take anything until price has like actually broken out of this range. It's just not moving very well. Let me see where opening price is. Opening price is right here. I'm also going to mark up opening price on our weekly chart too. Let's go over here. 30-minute. Opening price for today was right here. So this is Tuesday, 10/31/23. Open price. So as you can see, price is actually in a range between opening prices as well. We have opening price right here for today, opening price down here from yesterday. Price it looks like it might even create a big range right here if it continues to sit in this area, right? If it doesn't correct back up, it's probably going to range between these 2 opening prices right here. And this kind of gives you a bigger idea as to like where price is going, which I think is very helpful for us because I do expect price to be bearish. So you can see right here where price is correcting back down below the pivots. I think eventually by the end of the month, price, target price point is probably going to be right here. It's going to go on and pretty much fill this push to the upside right here. This was a push to the upside on Friday, basically on close, and then yesterday too. The reason why I'm seeing this here is because all of the indices are in correction. If you guys look at NASDAQ, like say NQ, this is in correction, right? You can see how NASDAQ is coming down. If you look at ES, S&P, it's also coming down. Right, so I think all the futures are coming down at some point. It's just going to be a matter of time until it does. So you can see over here, it's a better idea of where price is likely to go. So this is why my bias is probably going to be bearish for the rest of the month. I'll still look for buys, but for the most part, if I have sells and they look like good entries, that's probably going to be, the selling point there. So we got a pending sell signal right here on the 1 minute. If this here closes, you can probably start looking for some momentum pullback scalps. As you can see, the candle there did not close with the sell signal. So there's still no opportunity there for entry. There is another opportunity here for a high-low scalp V2 if anybody's looking to take it. Again, like I mentioned earlier, guys, it's a little risky. So if you want to take these trades here, I probably would only take them for a partial move. If you want to take them for the full move, feel free. But the reason why I'm warning is because price is still in this range right here. Because what can happen here is it can just be a fake out, right? Price will fake out and then pull back into the range like it did yesterday. So just keep that in mind. I mean, if you guys want to take the trade, I'm not going to stop you guys. Actually, there's no entry there. So this is the actual low right here. So we need this candle to break and close below this low. And once that happens, there may be opportunity here for a sell with a high-low scalp V2. So it still hasn't broken and closed below it. The ATR is kind of low right now, guys. So the ATR is, well, I mean, it's not super low, but it's currently at 21. Typically want it a bit higher if you're going to go for the full 300. If anything, you can maybe go for 25, or even if you want to go for less, you can go for like 200 if, that works for you as well. So we have a possible high-low scalp that's setting up right here. Hasn't closed yet, but it looks like the price may be setting up. Again, guys, we have news coming up over here at 7 o'clock. So again, if you guys want to take these entries, you might want to get in and out very quickly. So maybe just go for 100 pips if you're looking to take it, because you're not going to have much time by 7 o'clock over here to get out. So again, if you guys want to take the trade, I'd recommend, if you do want to take it for a quick move in and out quickly, because 7 o'clock is coming up very, very quick. And the volatility here is starting to die down. You can see how the volatility here is getting lower. It's because a lot of people are starting to realize like there's medium impact news coming up right here at 7 o'clock. So they probably want to sit tight and just wait. It's a high news day today, or a heavy news day. So it's kind of annoying. Right, so there's no entry here yet, guys. You need price to break and close below the structure right there, which it hasn't broken close yet. So, and there's also no sell signal, so there's no momentum pullback scalp yet either. I think this here is probably some manipulation. Price probably gonna get manipulated up, and then when news happens over here, because I think news is going to be negative, since the previous news over here was negative as well. I'm expecting this news event to be negative as well too. Well, they're already forecasting it to be negative. So last month it was 103. They're forecasting it to be 100. I think it's gonna be around there. So I think this is just pre-news. It's just pre-news movement. So I think price is gonna push up, and then when news happens at 7 o'clock, it's gonna come right back down. Or as it gets closer to 7 o'clock, it's just gonna correct right back down. Hey, Manvest, how's it going? All right, let's check out CNBC real quick. Any breaking news? All right, so looking over here at the fundamentals, guys. Fundamentals are currently, it's more so at, it's like a bearish neutral now. It's not very solid. So we'll change this to bearish neutral for fundamentals, because it's not consistently below 100 points. Retail sentiment, as Maddie mentioned, is now 60% long. So this is now same thing, bearish. Yeah, you can see over here, the retail traders are starting to stack up on the buys. So it was earlier, it was at 58%. Now it's at 60%. So we could expect a correction back down. I think this is just going to be a temporary push up. And I think price is going to come back down and stop everybody out. So we still don't have a sell signal, so it wouldn't really matter. But if we go back to our clean chart, look where price is back. It did exactly what I mentioned earlier, right? So you can see over here, our price came down, faked out, and pulled right back into the range. This is why I'm being very careful about the entries, because this is the same setup that came up yesterday and the same setup that happened last week. There's just no direction today. Again, which is weird, guys. Like, I don't know. I was expecting us to have like a pretty directional market, at least until like November, because it's been ranging all throughout the summer. But again, we're still stuck in this range. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to work with it. The thing that I talked about with Maddie yesterday that I think a lot of people should understand is that I think these strategies are going to be our staples all year round. The momentum pullback scalp and the high-low scalp V2. The reason for that is because these strategies work when price is moving directional and trending. And right now, price is just ranging. I don't think this is going to hold forever. Price can't just range forever, right? Eventually, it's going to start moving directional again. So it's just going to be a matter of time. We just basically have to hold out and be conservative and just wait for the market to really, provide us our opportunities. Because once the market starts moving directional, there's going to be a ton of entries for us to take here. So, I think these are going to be our staples. I do like the high-low momentum scalp, which does work as well for a ranging market. But I think it's better for us to just sit out during ranging markets versus, trying to force trades here and there. So, we just gotta wait, guys. I mean, that's the only thing we can really do. If you guys do want to take some high-level momentum scalps, you guys can take those entries. However, I think it's best to just be conservative, especially around a time like this. I think these ranges they're gonna be ranging for now until maybe the end of the year. But once the US elections start running, we're gonna have a directional market because there's gonna be a lot of stuff going on in the news. The recession is gonna be more talked about right now. Right now, the government is trying to basically sweep this thought of recession under the rug, right? They want to make it kind of where nobody's thinking about it. But when the election starts to run next year, it's going to be the main talk because that's what the next president's going to have to deal with, right? The recession. So the recession is going to be a talk. And when people are talking about the recession, market's going to be moving either very strong down if they confirm that we're going to recession, or if Trump, ends up becoming president and he says we're going to make America great again and we're going to get out of this recession, price is going to go up, right? Because we're going to have so much trust in our new president next year. So, what I would recommend, guys, is just sit tight and just have discipline. If you find good entries, then take the entry. But I wouldn't recommend forcing trades during a range like this because it's really hard to time the market, especially when you have news as well, because price could be ranging right here. And then we have news at 7 o'clock and price will spike up or price can spike down. There's no telling, what could happen. So I prefer not to take that gamble, and I would just wait for something more concrete to happen in the market. However, I do think price will come back down. So guys, this right here is no longer useful. You can see price came up and it's still useful because it hasn't actually broken close below it. Yeah, so this zone right here, or this level, is still useful actually. Since price never broke and closed below it, this zone right here actually has not been used technically. It's still a pending high-low. We have no sell signal. We have news coming up right here in about a minute. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if price starts to tumble back down once we have news over here shortly. So we had news in about 20 seconds. See what happens here when the news is released. News is happening in about 10 seconds. See if it starts to come down. Check news event. News event was actually positive. So surprisingly, it was positive. It wasn't very positive, but it was slightly positive right there. So we'll see. So it was forecasted to be 100. I went from 104 to 102. So not a big jump, but it was a lot better than what was anticipated for the news event. So it looks like we're having a bit of a spiky candle right here. Let me go ahead and just mark up news real quick. News right there. So you can see, even though news was positive, price still came down because I was forecasting it to be negative as well. But yeah, Gian said he's starting to get inconsistency from MT4 and TradingView. Yeah, it's because of the news. It's like different brokers have the data is being delayed because the news is positive, but yeah, I can see it, Gian. So MT4 is kind of lagging behind, guys. You guys want to be a little careful if you guys are looking to take any entries here. Or, I mean, you guys shouldn't be taking any entries because it's news right now. But the brokers are basically, they can't keep up with the price movement. So, all right, we have the setup right here, guys. I mean, if you guys are looking to take this, I'm not going to take this. I'm going to wait for it a little bit because if it happens too quickly, this could be manipulation based off the news because the news just happened right here at 7 o'clock. So I'd be careful, guys, if you guys are looking to take anything here. I'm hoping price doesn't break and close below it because, okay, so it hasn't technically broken and closed below it yet. This candle right here is still above. I'd rather wait for it to, or if it does break and close, I want it to actually come down kind of heavy and then come back up kind of heavy and then fill. I don't want it to be like a quick drop, 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 or drop, push up, and then drop back down. Because those types of entries are, I think those are super risky. If you guys are looking to take them. Anyways, if this drops, it's fine. I want it to actually come down though. I don't want it to just do this where it comes down slightly, comes back up, and then comes right back down. I don't like those type of moves because there's no space in between. It happens too quickly. All right, so it looks like, I mean, it's at the range again. This could be another fake out. So let's see if this candle breaks and closes below this level right here. All right, to price broke and closed below the level that would be used would be the higher one up here. So we're not going to use this lower one. We'll be using this level right here. So we're looking for the fake out now. If price fakes out above, then there may be opportunity for entry here. We also have the momentum pullback scalp over here that may be coming as well. All right, so if you guys are looking to take the high-low scalp V2, I would probably, again, only take it for a partial move, guys. There's just a lot of uncertainty with regards to direction of price. So if you guys are looking to take the trade here, if this here fakes out, so price came below, if it fakes out above again right here, you would put a sell stop waiting right there. So price will come up a little bit, fill, and come back down. But again, if you guys are looking to take this, I probably would only take it for a partial move because it's stuck in this range right here still. Okay, so there's no fake out yet. Gotta wait for another candle here. The fake out there never confirmed. So we have price break below. We need a green candle to push above this blue line right here. Once that happens, it's going to need to close. And once it closes, it's going to confirm the fake out. And then once it comes back down, that's going to be the entry for the high-low scalp V2. But looking over here at the requirements, we've confirmed the trend is bearish, confirmed price breaking close with this red candle, confirm the fake out. We're on step 3 right now. So once we get to step 3, then you can go and set your pending order. And once you set your pending order, it has to fill within 5 candles. So just got to wait a little bit right here. About 10 seconds left. So this is the second candle. You still have about like 4 candles until the setup is invalidated. So there goes the second candle right there. This is currently the third candle. Again, looking for price to fake out and return back down. But you guys can see the ATR is starting to drop down a little bit. So it's definitely a little risky. Yeah, Maddie said that they're luring in some buyers right now. I can see that too. You can see how price is kind of just flatlining right here. I think that's exactly what's happening with Maddie saying. They're luring in some buyers because people are starting to think that this is the bottom, which it really isn't. People are starting to think this is the bottom and they think they're going to catch the correction back up. But realistically, I think price is going to come up slightly and then come right back down. So again, you're looking for this green candle to break and close above this blue line right here. If this ends up closing, then if price comes back down, you're going to have opportunity for a high-low scalp V2. And it looks like it's going to close right here. So we'll see if it ends up coming back down. Again, I think partials would probably be best here. Let's see where the 20 is. So the 20 would be right here, and I'll mark up the 10 as well, just so that you guys have an idea if you guys are looking to take partials here. Not in the position yet. Just waiting for this to kind of flatten out a little bit. Let me see. I'll put my pending order here now. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said might push up a bit to lure in buyers. That's exactly why I was waiting for it to kind of push up a little bit. So I mentioned earlier that I didn't want to enter it right away. I kind of wanted price to retrace up a little bit so that when it comes down, it goes straight through, right? And that's kind of what I'm waiting for here still. I'm just not ready to enter any trades yet because price is in this range. So price is currently in the range right now. Let's go to this clean chart. Here goes the little fake out area, and it's doing exactly what I just warned about, right? Said, watch out for the fake out because price is probably going to fake out and pull back into the range. And then what might happen here is one of two things: price will either pull back down or it'll just pull back up into the range. So I don't think I'm going to take this entry here. Yeah, I'm going to cancel it. So hopefully nobody took the entry there, but you guys can see it's doing exactly what it did yesterday. That's why I'm telling you guys to be a little careful, because this range here is not something to mess with. Like there's no confirmation of like what direction price might go in. Like it pretty much faked out about 3 times here. Faked out right here, faked out right here, faked out right here. So yeah, it looks like Andrew sat out of it, Maddie sat out of it. It's just not a good area to trade in right here. So again, we're just gonna have to wait. It's back into this range here that nobody likes. Let's check the retail sentiment again. Yeah. So right now it looks like, I mean, there's still 60% of buyers in the market right now. So this might shift back down, but again, we'll have to wait and see what happens here. This market sucks. I was really hoping we'd have some good entries during NFP, but it's like until price gets out of this range, there's not really going to be much for us to work with here, because it just keeps going back and forth. Let me see if there's a new zone here. There's not even a new zone yet. But yeah, this is not a good area to trade in. So you could have either taken both. Like there's 2 different opportunities you could have taken here. If you identify this as the bounce, you could have taken the bounce back up into the range, or you could have, waited for price to swing back down for the sell. Price never came back down to fill the order for me personally, so I just never got my order filled right there. You can see our price pushed up. I put my pending order right here, and then it just pretty much pushed all the way up, so I was able to cancel it. So again, right here, guys, it's just another time to, sit tight. If there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. There's not really much for us here to work with. There's nothing here for the momentum pullback scalp. You can see we had a sell signal here, but price never came down lower. Price came down and then came right back up. Yeah, there's nothing for us to work with here. It's kind of just back and forth here. So here we can see prices starting to climb back up. So here's the thing that you might want to be careful for, because price there's 2 different opportunities here. One of the things is that price may push up and retest the opening price, which is this blue line here. It's kind of hard to see, but this is opening price right here. That's one thing. Or the second thing that could happen here is a fake out could happen. Price might swing right back down into the range, right? 2 different opportunities here, or 2 different setups that may play out. Price is either going to correct back up to opening price, or it's going to fake out right here and pull back into the range. Or even worse, price might just create another range right here, and then it's just going to be a higher level range right there. So yeah, again, guys, there's not too much to work with here. It's just frustrating because we waited pretty much all summer for the fall season to come, and then we get this type of market, right? We were like super excited for the market to like move directional, and then here we are with, the only thing is that market is still ranging, but it's volatile. So it's volatile, but it is ranging, which I think is worse, because in the summer, price wasn't really ranging that much. It was moving, but it was moving very slow. Like it would move slow, like it would drop, but it would take like the entire day for it, like the entire session for it to come down. I actually prefer this during the summer versus what we have now here, right? So we're going from this type of movement during the summer to now this, right? I think this market is worse. We do have a strategy for this type of market, but from my experience, I personally just don't really like taking risks during these type of markets because you can get caught in a lot of fake outs. And situations like that arise. But if you guys are looking for entries, I mean, you guys can still apply high-low scalp momentum. As you can see right here, there is a lower low buy signal right here that broke and closed past pivots 1 and 2. So you can still apply the other strategy, the high-low scalp momentum, high-low momentum scalp. This was actually the strategy that we used last winter. So if you guys were trading with me last winter, this was actually one of our staples. So if you guys took the trade here, that'd be the full TP right there. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to tell if it actually closed or not, but past it. But if you look really, really close, it looks like it did. Because what I typically look at is I look at the corners right here. I look at the corners of the candle. If the corner of the candle is higher than the pivot 2, that's typically where I kind of draw the line. But again, it was kind of too close. So unless you were like really set on taking a specific entry like that, it might have been missed. But anyways, guys, we'll see if the trend here starts to shift. If the trend here shifts, then we'll start looking for any other opportunities. If I see any more high-low momentum scalps, we'll take note of it. We'll maybe even take the entries if they come up because they are hitting. It's just you have to take into consideration the red flags for the high-low momentum scalp. So for example, right here, there's another opportunity that came up right here, but this wouldn't have been taken because it's right at the sessions and it's right at news price. This one right here would have been okay because there's no red flags around the area. So if you guys need a refresher on red flags, make sure to review the video. The red flags are very, very important for the high-low momentum scalp because it's a negative risk to reward. So you have to make sure you check all boxes before you actually take the entry. So, all right, other than that, yeah, Medvest said, I was trading with you when you were using the 10-minute strategy and you were killing it. Yeah, no, the 10-minute strategy still works fine. So also, if you guys want to apply to the 10-minute strategy, which Medvest was referring to, that would be the snipe strategy. You can apply that strategy. That's actually a ranging strategy as well. Maybe we can look into that too. If that's something that, no, but I don't think it'd work well for the type of, yeah, because if we were doing a 10-minute strategy, it'd be hard for us to find something. Actually, there might be one right here. These SRs out. Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's hard to apply because we're only trading for like an hour and a half now. So it's hard to find these 10-minute strategies. You have to be on the chart for a while to catch these. I mean, they do work and they do hit, but yeah, like there was one right here, Medvest. Price pushed up, retraced right here, rejected off the pivot and the zone, and there'd be an entry there for a buy. And then another one right here. And then price swung back down for another opportunity for sell there as well. Yeah, I mean, there's a ton of strategies. If you guys have been with me for a while, there's some of you guys who have been with me for a couple of weeks. Some of you guys have been with me for a couple of months. Some of you guys who've been with me for a couple of years. The market's always changing. So when the market shifts, we make adjustments with the market. Right now we're in a ranging market, so I don't know if we should maybe revisit our ranging strategies. But I think price is going to break out of this range with due time. It might not happen today, it might not happen tomorrow, but I think with due time, price isn't going to break out of this range and it's not going to continue moving like this. So it looks like price is finally attempting to take its stride to the upside. If this is the case, then this is great. But if not, then we'll see if it holds. It seems like a lot of these movements have been happening either pre-market or after the live session. Because I've noticed yesterday, so yesterday After our live session, I went to the gym and I work out with a couple of stockbrokers at my gym. And they were like talking to me about if I made money on US30 because it corrected back up. And I was like, no, I sold yesterday. We made some profit on it, but we sold. And I looked at US30 and it actually, it made a big climb later in the session. So if you guys followed US30 after our live session, so we traded yesterday between 8 right here, and then it started making its climb over here around 10 o'clock. It was a short climb though. So it was a little climb right here, basically between like 9:50 and 10. And then it went back into the range. And then it went back into the range again. And then it went back into the range again right here. So you guys can see it has like a small stride that happens later in the session, but it doesn't always happen that way. But I'm expecting this to happen like during our session at some point. Let's see. Rashida said, does that look like an inverted and shoulders to you on the 1 hour? Let me check real quick. I mean, it looks like it could be setting up. There's a pattern head over here. And shoulders. So I could see the shoulder right here. Head. Yeah, like it looks like it's setting up, Rashida. I could see it playing out too because I expect price to come back down as well. So you can see how I marked up the opening prices right here. I could see this happening. Price could be in this big range for a while, and then it'll finally break below and then reach a target price point that I was mentioning earlier right here, right? Opening price for Monday. So yeah, I can see that probably playing out. It's going to take some time though. So maybe by Thursday or even Friday. This might be the dump for NFP. So price might continue to go sideways here, and then eventually it'll come back up tomorrow, and then come back down, and then finally blast right through for NFP. So we'll keep an eye on that. But thanks, Rashida. All right, I'll just leave it on the chart. I'll leave it on there, and then we'll come back and take a look at this in a couple of days. But yeah, no, that was a good observation. All right, man. Let's see. I'm just waiting for something here to give us opportunity. Every yawn of these live sessions. These this market's got me yawning. All right, so we have a bullish trend right here. We do have a pending sell signal. We need another push to the upside. So there's a couple different things that can happen here. So we currently have a bullish trend now. It's not very strong, but it is a bullish trend. So if we get a continuation back to the upside, then we may have opportunity here for a momentum pullback scalp for a buy. If we get a sell signal, then we won't have an entry for a buy. We need that buy signal to be valid. But again, we may have opportunity here for a momentum pullback scalp. I don't know if I'm going to force a trade here, guys, because you can see over here, price is pulling back in. See how price fake out? What do you think is going to happen in this area right here? Yep, back into a range. So I would be careful again, just like earlier. You can see the same fake out. It's the same pattern. You can see over here, price attempts to like fake out outside of the range, and then it just pulls right back in. There you go. This price kind of dances in between this range here. So we finally got a higher high right there. Draw that up. All right, so let's see if price comes back and retests this structure, or if it just keeps dropping down lower. I think it'll just continue to drop down lower, back into this range. Another structure down here. Yeah, there's not really too much here to work with. I'll just take this off for now, and we'll leave this up just so that you guys can see the fake outs here. I think it's a lot more helpful, a lot more beneficial to just look at this here as price continues to bounce around within these ranges. So I'm looking at these patterns here. I'm like tempted to take a speculative trade whenever I see these fake outs again, because these fake outs keep happening. So I might look at the chart, and if you guys want to just follow the analysis, because this just keeps playing out. Like whenever you see price kind of come down a little bit and pulls back up, it's probably going to pull back into the range like how it did right here. So again, if you see price push out of this area, just wait for it to tumble back down, and you can kind of watch it, or even take it for like 100 pips or so back into the range. Again, there's no strategy to it. It's more so just speculation. I'm seeing these patterns just repeating itself. It's something that I could probably put into a strategy, but it's nothing that I can really. There's no concrete data behind it because we haven't really tested it. But it's just something that I've been noticing for the past couple of weeks now, or past couple of months actually. It's just a lot of fake outs back and forth. So again, right here, if you were to see price come back below and it fakes out, comes back up, you can probably expect it to push up at least 100 pips to go in that direction. All right, so there's no entry here for a buy. We have a new sell signal. Looks like price is correcting back down. Maddie mentioned, he thinks it might go on a stop hunt to the downside. I can see that as well. Correction back down to this lower level. Andreas confirmed that there's news in 7 minutes. Thanks, Andreas. So we have news right here at 7:30. Man, this market is frustrating. But so on Monday, I told you guys that NFP. So we've traded like over 60 NFPs weeks, right? So what I've learned from trading NFP over 60 times, not just NFP day, but NFP weeks, it's either going to be a really good week or it's going to be a really bad week, right? This right here, as you guys can see, I would consider this to be a bad week because it's just ranging and there's no entries for us here to take. Haven't taken anything official pretty much all week because I'm just being very careful about a lot of the different opportunities that kind of present themselves here. So I'm hoping tomorrow it picks back up. If it doesn't pick back up, this week's gonna be a toss-up for me, and I'm going to see it as basically a not good week to trade. Yeah, because NFP's been good to us and it's been bad to us. There's been times where the NFP's been really, really good and we made a lot of profits during NFP. And there's been times where we had a couple losses and it was more of a sideways market. So there's no surprise that the market's moving this way during NFP. We haven't even gotten into like the nitty gritty of the news events yet. So if you look at the news over here, we had a couple news events today. They weren't like super crazy, but tomorrow's where the big stuff's happening. So we have the high impact news coming up tomorrow with ADP employment change. We have global manufacturing PMI inflation news. We have ISM manufacturing PMI, also inflation news, and then job openings for September. So it's going to be employment change in October, and then also job openings in September. The thing with this here is that we're going to see you're going to see a lot of inflated pricing. So like with these job changes, you guys have to keep in mind that we're going into the holiday season. So a lot of people are getting hired seasonal. So there's a lot of seasonal workers right now. So you might see a big jump in employment. You can see over here last month, it was 89K. Now it's up to 150K. I think this is because there's a lot of seasonal hiring going on for the holidays. So this is going to be like a quick little bump up, but I don't think it's going to be something. It's not like our economy is back to normal. We're still in this recession. So just something to keep in mind moving forward. And that's something that I've noticed over the years too. We've traded, I think, we traded live 5 to 7 years. So we traded about 5 to 7 Christmases together. And we've noticed how, the data that's released has been inflated because you got to take into account a lot of the seasonal jobs that are coming into play for the holidays. So it all comes with experience, guys. The longer that you guys have been trading with me live, the more that you guys understand these markets, the more that you understand how these news events affect the markets. I have no background in economics. I have no background in finance. This is stuff that I learned from just market reaction to news events that happen around this time of the year. So again, there's no entries for us here. We have news coming up in about 3 minutes. We probably want to sit tight and wait. Typically 5 minutes before and after news, you probably want to sit tight because there's just a lot of uncertainty as to regard to manipulation of price once the news event's released. So the news event that's coming up right here at 7:30 is Dallas Fed Services Index and the Dallas Fed Services Revenue Index. So, man, this market's kind of just giving me like, I just feel delirious because I want to take something, but like I can feel my FOMO kicking in right now. That's why I'm kind of looking for like different opportunities for me to just take a speculative move, because I know I can probably pull in like 100 pips here and there. But again, I need to stick to my game plan and I need to stay disciplined. So what I might do here is if there's no entries that come up in like this, let's say the next 10 minutes or so, I'm just going to close my MT4. I'll still be here on this live session, but I'm going to close my MT4 because I'm like itching to trade right now. And it's not a good feeling. I'm sure you guys know that feeling where you just keep watching the charts and you see these patterns play out. Like, for example, right here, I mentioned, when price gets to these levels, it's probably going to bounce up. And if I wanted to take a quick 100 pips, you got to keep in mind 100 pips is not very much. It's very little. It's something like that. So if you can be smart enough to catch the bounce for 100 pips, which I'm sure we can, you can do it. But then again, you're just gambling at the point. There's no specific strategy behind it, right? So, all right, I'll keep looking for entries here. But yeah, this market is just not it. Not today, not yesterday. It's just been a lot of back and forth movement. There's not really much to work with here. We got another high level right there. It's pretty far up. So the high-low scale V2 is pretty far up. I don't know if this will ever get filled. Possibly. Okay, here goes the news candle, guys. So we got news right here. And I'm just being straight up with you guys too, because for me, I know a lot of you guys think that I don't ever get FOMO and I'm able to just trade 100% every day. I'm human just like you guys. I'm not able to control myself at all times, especially during these types of markets, because these markets are just frustrating because you're just waiting for a trend to kind of establish. And the trend the trend's there, but there's not really much of a direction. So news was a negative. Thanks, Maddie, for the heads up. Yeah, negative news right there. It was low impact, but it was still negative. And we'll see where this takes us from here. Yeah, Maddie said this might be coming down to the range below. Yeah, I can see that too. This might be another fake out. And then a correction back down. Or it might push up a little bit and fake out even higher. Regardless of the fact, it's still not a good area right here where price is currently at. It's now within this new range. So it pretty much established the range like I mentioned earlier, guys. I was like, okay, this might push up, and then as it pushes up, it might fake out and come back into this new range here, which is exactly where it's at. All right, guys, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. There's no entries for us to take here. As you guys can see, the trend here is starting to shift again. Yeah, exactly. Andrew said Trap Tuesday in full effect. I agree. Trap Tuesday is definitely in full effect right now. A lot of traps being set up. Price just keeps pulling back into the range. There's not even any setups coming up. There's no setups for us to even get stuck to get trapped in. It's Trap Tuesday with the trap moves, but there's no setups here for us to really get into. I guess the traps could be a lot of these fake outs right here outside the range. But for our specific entries here, there just hasn't been any entries today, at least no official ones. Breakout V2 didn't play through. Momentum counter scalp did play through slightly, but it was at news. Yeah, there's just not too much for us to work with here. All right, so price has now established this new range. All right, I'm gonna close my MT4, but I'll still be here on the live, guys. I just don't want to force any trades here. I already know myself, and I don't trust myself right now. I'm trying to like squeeze in a trade here and there. Yes. So we basically need to wait for price to break out of this range. It's not even ranging anymore. It's more just consolidating. So it's just going sideways right here in a smaller little move. So it's not even moving in the range. It's more so just consolidating. What we need to wait for here, if you guys are looking for something, is you need to wait for price to break out of this range. So basically we need price to break above or price to break below. But it's been doing this for the past, I guess, 2 weeks now. So last week we were in this range, same time as last week. So Monday, Tuesday of last week, we were stuck in the same exact range. Again, today we're stuck in this range. I think price will definitely move tomorrow because tomorrow is when a lot of the big news happens. And then Thursday, of course, there's just news every day after today. Today there was like a bit of some mixed news, medium to low impact. Tomorrow's very high impact. There's news pretty much all day. I think there's like 15 news events tomorrow. Then on Thursday, we have high impact. We have jobless claims, continuing jobless claims. And then again on Friday, we have NFP. And today, I think Powell is speaking, or no, tomorrow he is. So tomorrow's a really big day, guys. Tomorrow, they're going to be releasing the Fed interest rate decision. It's forecasted to be left as is, but I think price is probably, I think the interest rate is probably going to go up. It might go up like maybe a 1.2%, or sorry, 0.2%, or maybe even a 1%, or even a 0.5%. So I'm expecting to go up at least a little bit because it's just necessary. Interest rates have to go up, or there's like no way we'll be able to get out of this recession. All right, back to the charts. Again, nothing for us to take here. You can see prices coming back down. You want to be careful if you guys are looking to trade here. And I've been telling you guys, these areas are very tricky because it can be a fake out or it can be a break down below. And even if it is a breakdown below, it could still be another fake out. I mean, what's worse is the volatility is pretty low too. Let's see if price fakes out or if it ends up breaking below into the lower zone. Either way, guys, there's no entries here. You guys can see the trend meter, or not the trend meter, the pivots. There's no confirmed trend. And then also with this over here, there's no confirmed trend. So regardless of the fact, there's no entries for you to take here, even if you wanted to. Price is bouncing off the structure right there. So here's the key thing. We're going to look for the fake out, or we're going to look for the continuation down below. It might fake out and then might correct back up into the upper range, or price might break below and continue ranging down below. There's just two different opportunities here for range. It's either below or above. It's kind of looking like it's going to be a fake out and then a correction to the upside range. I mean, who knows? I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see. So let's see if this is a fake out or if it's going to break into the lower range. I would, like, if you guys are looking to take something speculative, I'd be careful right here because, the fake out happens below the level. So it can fake out like this up here, or it broke past it a little bit and then came back down. Or it could be something like this over here, or it broke past it and then it corrected back up. So you kind of want to look for that exhaustion, basically exhaustion of price. Because once it's exhausted and it reverses back up, there's probably a possibility for you to catch a quick 100 pips back to the upside. So you start to see some green candles here. It's probably going to correct back up to this range here. But if you don't, then it's probably going to continue dropping lower. There goes the exhaustion of price. And I've closed my MC4, guys, so you don't have to worry about me FOMOing into any moves. You're not going to see any random profits being posted later. I've closed my MC4. I've pretty much learned my lesson. FOMOing into these trades here. So my MC4 is closed. I'm still analyzing though. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know and I'll analyze anything you guys need help with. But I'm not going to be taking any trades on my end. So there's not going to be any official trades today. I will, if there's any entries that come up, I'll mark them up and I'll pretty much give you guys analysis for anything speculative here that I can possibly see. The trend here still hasn't shifted yet or hasn't confirmed. So there's no confirmation of trend yet. And I mean, we'll just see. We'll see where this ends up going from here. I think price will it looks like price is trying to climb back up into the range. I think this candle will probably confirm it, if that becomes the case. So if this candle closes green, it might pull back into the the range above. So it didn't close green there. So since it didn't close green right there, price might pull back into this lower range down below. Yeah, it looks like continuation back down. So looks like the fake out didn't play through, and this might pull back into this area down below here. The thing with these candles though is that you have to wait for them to close to confirm the direction. So like earlier we were mentioning this green candle here, if it closed green, it probably would pull back up. Again, with this one, you'd have to see if this closes red, because if it doesn't close red, it's probably going to just continue ranging around this area. So, and this is just from experience, from what we've seen over the years. So it looks like it might be closing red. Yeah, closed red right there. So I think price might just stay below this range here. Or, I mean, who knows? It's just consolidating right here. There's no clear direction to price. So it's not just ranging between this area here. There's a new lower low here, but I don't really want to make some adjustments to it, at least not yet. Because if price drops lower, this lower low is just going to get pushed down even further. All right, let's go back to our charts here. The trend here still hasn't confirmed yet. As you guys can see, the red pivot still isn't above all the other pivots. It's kind of lined up with the yellow pivot right now, or orange pivot. Same with this here. No confirmation. All right, I'm not expecting anything to happen from now until 8 o'clock, guys. I mean, as you guys can see, price is just kind of faking out between both ranges over here. It did the fake out that I just mentioned. So you can see how price pulled down below here, faked out, just like it did down here. And now it's back into this range. Sorry, guys, I had to sneeze real quick. But yeah. So guys, if there's any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, I'm not expecting anything to happen here from now until 8 o'clock. I've already closed my MC4, so I'm not looking to really take anything here. There's no confirmation of trend yet. So if the confirmation of trend gets established here, there may or may not be a high-low scalp V2 coming up right here. This right here is a little tricky, guys. I don't think I would take this one if it does come up because the trend here hasn't shifted. As you can see right here, all the pivots are kind of right next to each other. But if you guys are looking to take this here, I'll mark it up for you to a possible high-low scalp V2 that is setting up right here. The ATR is actually really low, so you probably want to go for like 2020. All right, so yeah, if price swings back up, there's a possibility of entry right here. Got it close below it though. Yep, price didn't close below, so there's no entry there yet. All right, so still nothing here. So price broke past it. You need the fake out down below and then correction up. I'm not going to take the trade though. I'll mark it up for you guys here if it comes up, but my mindset's already checked out for the day. This market is just kind of annoying for us. I'll mark up the levels here. There's also a momentum pullback scalp that can possibly be setting up here too as well. So if we get a red candle here, there may be a momentum pullback scalp that may be coming up at one of these levels here. Yeah, and Randy also mentioned that it's right next to open, so it might not be the best opportunity for entry there. But again, if you guys are looking to take it, I will mark it up for you guys right here. Still no entry there for the high-low scalp V2. This thing might be a bit lower. So the trade is now running, guys. I'm not in the position, but the trade is running. I'll follow it for you guys right here. If you guys want to do the general 30-30, I'll mark the 20 mark here if you guys are looking to take it for partial. But again, I don't really recommend taking it because we're still in this range, and this range is just not a good area to trade in. So I marked up levels right there. Again, I'm not in this position, guys. I don't plan on taking it. I'm just following it for you guys. I already closed my MC4. There's also a momentum pullback scalp that's currently running right now. I'm not sure if it already hit TP, but I did have it marked up right there for when it played through. So it looks like the momentum pullback scalp is about to hit. If it didn't already hit already. All right, Maddie, we'll see you later. Yeah, Maddie said he closed out his trading view or his trade of 8. He's done for the day too. All right, so full TP over here for the momentum pullback scalp. If anybody took it, I didn't take the trade, of course, so it's not going to count as an official entry. I'm pretty much checked out for the day. I don't feel comfortable taking any positions during these type of these market conditions right now at the range. But here goes one of the first official entries that could have been taken if you wanted to take it. I didn't take it, so it's not going to count as an official entry, but this is a setup for an official entry, which should be the momentum pullback scalp strategy. Here goes the high-low scalp V2. It's currently running in profit. First level right there just got hit for 10 points. So again, if you guys are going for a quick scalp, this here again would also be an official setup. I didn't take any of these entries. I've closed out my MT4 like a while ago. So even though these trades do hit TP, I'm not going to count them as official trades. So if you guys want to take them, second level right here is going to get hit soon at 20 points. But I'm not going to mess with this market. It's too tricky right now. And I'm not looking to take anything too risky. I'd rather just wait for better opportunities to come up tomorrow. All right, let me see. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I can hang out if you guys want me to, but I think at this point, it's probably best to just call it a day, because if you keep looking for things that aren't there, you're just going to be forcing entries, right? So, yeah, if you guys took the partial, like I mentioned over here, it already closed out for profit. The momentum pullback scalp are also hit profit right there. Looking over here on the clean chart, you can see that price is just faking out between the ranges. So fake out right here, pull back into the range. Fake out right here, pull back into the range. Right, fake out right here. What do you think's next? Pull back into the range. So there's not really too much to work with here, guys. So, all right, if there's any other questions, guys, put them in the chat. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap this up pretty soon. There's just nothing else for us to look at here. If you guys have profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Otherwise, I think this is pretty much going to be it for the day. So a couple profits over here. We've got Gion, total profit of 855 for the day. All wins right there. Nice work, Gion. We got Andrew here, total profit of 1,440 on his first account, 990 on his second account, 915 on his third account, and 915 on his fourth account. So total profit of about about 4,000 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. We got Kip over here, total profit of 4,272 for the day. All wins as well. Nice work right there, Kip. And then Johnny over here said, following his trading plan, no trades today. Yeah, smart move. I mean, I'm following my trading plan as well. Took no trades, just became careful because there wasn't too much for us to really mess with here. Here's Maddie. No trades for the day. Here's Maddie's spreadsheet for the week. So nice work, Maddie. Maddie took one loss on October 24th, momentum pullback. Everything else has been wins for last week. So Maddie's pretty much 2 wins and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So Maddie's up 16 wins, 2 losses for the month of October. Nice work, Maddie. Looking over here at my spreadsheet, I currently have 19 wins and 1 loss for the month of October. I haven't really taken too many trades as I was expecting. I was anticipating to take a lot more trades this month, but this week's kind of just been a toss-up. There hasn't been so much to take yesterday or today. And I've just been careful last week as well. So after that 1 loss on Monday, kind of brought me to break even. So I'm still dry for this week, guys. No trades for me, no official trades at least. I took 1 speculative trade on Monday, yesterday, which was an accidental trade. Made profit on it, but I'm not going to count that as a trade. So, all right, guys, I think that's it for today. It's 7:52. We have about 8 minutes till 8. If you guys don't have to trade for the rest of the day, I'd recommend that you probably just sit out until tomorrow. I think the market will be a lot more volatile and more directional with all the news happening. But as of now, I think this is probably a good time to just wrap it up and, get a clear mind, come back tomorrow fresh, and we'll run it back for NFP week. So, all right, guys, that's about it for today. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. Again, if you guys are new to the group, make sure that you go to the website, kodikaitrades.com. Click on unlock your free access right here. This will give you access to the Discord, all the strategies, all the videos. Again, if you guys missed the mentoring session from yesterday, just go to the YouTube channel, youtube.com/KodiKaiTrades. Go to mentoring sessions right here and check out the one from yesterday. We covered a lot of stuff, including the new indicator and all the new strategies that we've been applying. But other than that, I think that's about it. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys back